Look what I just finished copping me. Power map, power clip is wrapped properly, yeah. Oh, it's a must when you out to be the dopest barber that the industry's ever seen, yeah.
Whoa, don't say that.
Tune 45, Tune 45, Tune 45.
YouTube, what's going on? I know y'all caught that intro, that song, Andres the Barber 956. Thank you so much for making that for me. Definitely gonna be part of my intros from now on. I don't care what nobody says, that's a banger. It's stuck in my head, stuck in my son's head. Like, we was literally just singing it. Tune 45. It was dope. So let me know what you thought about that in the comments below. Before we start this tutorial, man, I just want to thank you guys. If you're new to the channel, definitely check out the content. If it's valuable to you, smash the subscribe button, the like button, all that good stuff. You guys know how much that helps the channel. But yeah, it's Thanksgiving. I want to drop this video today because I've been promising every Monday and Thursday we are going to drop heat. So here it is, guys. Have an amazing Thanksgiving, my Tune 45 family. Guys, what's going on, Tune 45 family? I'm so glad to have you guys on Thanksgiving. I know this guy's familiar to you guys. When I first started my YouTube channel, this was the first viral video that I had. He's Mr. 1 million, over 1 million views. But there's a funny backstory. He didn't want to get a bald fade, and he had never gotten a bald fade, and I convinced him to do it. I'll let him explain. Listen to this real quick.
What a bald fade was. He's like, bro, get it. I'm like, no, I'm not getting it. Like just a regular, like a regular little fade right here and just get it lined up. And he used to always say, bro, get the bald fade. I'm like, no, I do not want that. It's ugly. It looks horrible. Don't want that. He did it one time, bro. It was the best haircut I ever had. I never went back. That was the picture that's up at headlines right now. That's the first haircut I ever got. I never looked back, ever.
I didn't care. I was like, yo,
hey, we going against my word, but hey, it worked out.
Babe, literally it was like, Chris, don't do it. Don't give me a bald fade, Chris. Don't give me a bald fade, Chris.
All I get now. I'll never get nothing but a bald fade. Every time.
So we're going through the balding right now. This is where the magic happened for that haircut. And I don't want you guys to get confused. I don't want y'all to think, yo, I should do this on all of my clients. That's not the purpose of sharing this story with you. But I wanted to tell you guys, you know, we have our clients where they're our friends. They rock with us. And ever so often, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just know as a professional what this guy is looking for. Because there was so many times he wanted a gradient look, but he didn't understand that to get the most gradient look, you gotta go bald on the sides. But it has a bad connotation because people think, oh man, bald skin, nah, I need hair, I need that lineup. And when I did the haircut on him and he didn't realize I was doing a bald fade on him, yo, when he saw the mirror, he's like, damn, this looks dope. And yeah, the rest is history. So anyways, we're going through our sections right now. Bald, blade open. Now I'm at the 1 open. And you can reference the color chart on the bottom left corner if you're having issues following, you know what I'm saying, what guards I'm using. So between using the color guard on the bottom left corner and watching the lever on the clipper, you'll be able to get a good idea of what each step is. So at this point, I'm using my number 3 guard, and I'm using this to pretty much connect the sides with the top, and then we'll blend down from there. I'm going to blend down on this fade. I use those sections, those guidelines to guide me. That's what it's for. With shear work, you get a cleaner haircut on top. With shear work, the cleaner your sections and your guides are. It doesn't change for clipper work, and I don't know why people assume that it should. A clipper is the same thing as a shear, except one is manual and one is motorized. So when you put it into that perspective, you can get a good idea of the fact that the theory is the same regardless of what tool you're using. So at this point, I've gone through my 1.5 guard, and now I'm at my 1 open, and I'm gonna blend down to my 1 closed. And you can see the lever. When the lever goes up closer to the air, I should say, or to the ceiling, that's closed. When the lever is closer to the floor, that's open. So we are closed. We're doing a number 1 closed, and right underneath that, we're gonna use our half guard. It's open, and that's going to help us erase that guideline and blend down. And then you can, you know, if you can open and close as needed. If there's areas where it's staying too dark and it's inconsistent, close it up some until it matches the surrounding areas. Once you're done with that step, go to that blade open. And now we can go close, and we're going to start to take out this bottom line, this bald line, the initial guideline, whatever you want to call it. And shout out to my cousin Tito for the beat. But you know, a lot of people, they like blending down because you see your work coming to life as you're cutting. I don't recommend it for beginners, because what I've found is that a lot of beginners get lost in the blend, in the fading, by blending down. But if you have your guidelines, I feel like if you have your guidelines in place first, it's easier for beginners to stay on track, to stay organized and not get lost in their fade. All right, so at this point we have one side faded, blurred, and while I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and blend in the beard. And regardless if he gets his beard done or not, I'm always gonna blend his beard in, or line up the sideburn part at the very least, because with an all even haircut, the sideburn is included. And if you don't do the sideburn, your haircut's gonna look unfinished, and you're going to lose the advantage of word of mouth working for you. Barbers want to say all the time that your customers are your billboard, but then you don't do the sideburns. You make it look disconnected and unfinished, and that's not a good look, guys. All right, so we're doing the same steps on this side. At this point, we've gone number 3 guard, 2 open, 2 closed probably. I'm at my 1.5 guard open, now closed. And when this guideline is erased and that section is faded, we are now working at the 1 open section. We'll start open and then closed and then the half guard. I'll let you guys follow along. And you can see my wife in the background. She's shampooing somebody. So that back room all the way to the right corner, that is her studio. We figured, man, you know what? If you were to go get your own studio, it was gonna cost $350 a week. That's a lot of bread. That's what? That's doing my math. All right, I'm not even gonna do this. I'm gonna say it's like $1,400-$1,500 a month. Nah, we're good. We'll lease our own spot. You can have the top right corner. You can have your own room. It's the size of a salon suite anyways. And we killed 2 birds with 1 stone at Studio 45. All right, so at this point we had the blade open. And we're gonna close it. You could close it little by little until that bottom line is erased, or you could go from the bottom line up and just kind of meet it in the middle. And just so you guys know, we got some inventory on the power mats. So if you order your power mats, you will get them shipped tomorrow. So place your order for the power mats while they're in stock. You know those things sell out quickly. And you guys can see it's coming together. This is one of the reasons why people love fading down. So we've done 2 sides, and now we are going to do the back. The reason why I'm doing section by section like this is just to keep y'all engaged, man, because it's tough for people to sit through an entire haircut or tutorial. A lot of you guys will just see the beginning and then skip to the end, and I want you guys to be able to see the process unfold, sample by sample or section by section. So for any YouTuber who's starting out a channel, a haircut and doing haircut tutorials, there's a nugget for you guys. Engagement is super important with YouTube. If you don't have there's a thing called engagement ratio. If you don't have a good one, you won't get suggested by YouTube, and that's how the magic of building your channel happens. I also like doing both sides first, because then it gives you like an idea of what the back is supposed to connect to. Because some of you guys will do the sides, but then the back looks darker than the sides. This would be a good way of being able to see how I'm working this section right here, kind of like the mastoid area. By focusing on that, I can keep that balanced fade all the way around. So his hairline was a little light. You can see his hairline was a little bit light. I'm trying to give him a prominent lineup hairline without pushing them back and without it looking like too much new growth. So I don't know when these silver Babelesses are coming out. So I detail my fades with the Filthy Blends bracket that gives me the master's blade. I just like detailing with a different clipper or a different tool or a different blade. It just, for me, it just helps me with the process. So that's how I'm detailing. After the lineup, I'll go and detail with a different clipper. And then his beard, same thing. He did his own beard and he went a little bit lower than he should have. I feel like. So I'm just lining it up, keeping it as high as possible while still having a prominent line. And then in order for it to really look good, I'm going to put Tomb 45 No Drip, available on tomb45.com. And by the time it washes off, his hair should be darker and it should fill in that inconsistency there. So as long as he doesn't scrub his face, like Tomb 45 No Drip, water doesn't take it off, sweat doesn't take it off, but if you scrub and you lose layers of skin, that color will come off because it's designed to stain the skin. So I always tell people, rinse, don't scrub. And then I'll use the razor, obviously, to get it closer and get rid of any shadow or stubble. We'll use aftershave that has an astringent, because I want it to also not just, you know, kill bacteria, but I also want it to clean the oil off the skin. And by using the aftershave after this step, after the razor, then I have a good clean canvas to spray my color enhancement. And to me, color enhancement's like using hairstyling product, right? So you can hide a lot of imperfections in your shear work by slapping some hair gel on the top or putting some product in the top, right? But that's not what it's supposed to be used for. It's supposed to enhance a good scissor cut on top, right? And I think because a lot of barbers aren't as competent with shear work as they are with clipper work, they don't see that comparison. You know, like, yeah, the hair products, styling products shouldn't be hiding a bad scissor cut. It should be enhancing a great scissor cut, illuminating texture, amplifying the texture and the volume, right? That's what color enhancement should be doing. It should be amplifying, illuminating a great haircut. And what I've learned is a lot of times color enhancement on a bad haircut just makes a bad haircut look even worse. So here we go. We're going to use our black brown. I want to look as natural as possible. And I'm just kind of tapping that color. I'm not going crazy with it. I'm tapping it, removing the card, and I'm really gauging the look of it, making sure it doesn't come out too dark and too unnatural looking. And then once I've put the line on there, I'm just going to fill in, just kind of tapping, fill in, you know, those lighter areas. And I think it's coming out pretty damn good, looking pretty natural. If his hair was grown out, that's how it would look. And I think because of how fast his hair grows in a few days, and once that color is gone, it'll be, his beard will look right. So next time he gets his hair cut, we're going to make that beard look crazy nice. Okay, and I followed up with the razor one more time. All right, now we're gonna put that product on there to give the illusion that it's more laid, that it's shinier, just to make it look better. No, he don't need hairstyling product, but we want to enhance it. Brush it in, and there's the finished look, man. If you guys like the cut, if you guys learned something, please do subscribe. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the next video. It says $100 for a haircut, but if it's for YouTube, it's free. So you don't have to pay the $100 today, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you anyways.
I keep the 100.